Oh, here we go. Here's everything Blizzard changed. All right, everything Blizzard changed for Diablo 4.
When it's Rax, Blizzard just released their mega patch before season 1, and I want to go through it with you.
Wait, let me move my cam real quick. Let's get this out of Asmondgold's way real quick.
So I read through all the bug fixes and the gameplay fixes and the local co-op and the quests and the UI.
Oh, there's reaction to a reaction. Okay.
I'll let you read that on your own. I didn't see anything there that was like game.
I'll let them read it. Yeah. Well, I sit here and watch.
Just like dumb interactions, shit like that.
Miscellaneous. Let's get to the good stuff. Gameplay adjustments significantly increase the experience awarded for completing a nightmare dungeon.
This is thank fucking God. Thank fucking God this happened. Like, I only do nightmare dungeons. Thank fucking God.
Yeah, and you get the glyphs upgraded now too. Before, you would have to spam the dungeons and have 0 glyphs upgraded. Now, you get the EXP, you get the glyphs upgraded. You know, all around plus, all around positive. Nice job, Blizzard, listening to the community.
I was so sick of seeing people leveling way faster than me just by farming easy mobs.
Okay, that's good. We need nightmare dungeons to give us more XP, so we stop doing regular dungeons.
Absolutely.
Significantly increase the XP gain from killing monsters in nightmare dungeons. This is a good start. I like that. Helltide.
All around good. Yeah, and yeah, coordinated group, like, you know, running in nightmare dungeons is just a lot more fun. Instead of going to a part, exiting, you know, it's going back in. Like, that was kind of Resident Sleeper. Now, you know, the satisfaction of completing the whole dungeon, I think it's all around positive here.
Chests now provide substantially more bonus experience.
That's good too.
I already thought Helltide was godly, and now they give even more XP. That's a win.
Yeah, that's huge. Like, yeah, you want to have people go out in the world. Like, there's no reason to have events if nobody wants to do them, and there's no values.
Significantly increased rewarded experience from completing individual whispers across.
Getting to 100 isn't even an achievement now? What if I told you that it never was? That shit was never an achievement. That's a participation award. Anything in a video game that just takes a lot of time, the only people that place value in that are losers.
Damn. Yeah, I think getting to 100 in hardcore is definitely an achievement, but in casual play, nobody really cared about getting to 100. It was literally everything else, like, after the 100 that, you know, is important. So yeah, that's
an achievement
good take right there.
Dungeons for fucking like 8 hours a day every day. Like, who gives a fuck? You can program a bot to get level 100. Who cares?
Or nice.
Now, if you got
fix an issue where no experience was awarded for completing the holdout style event that can occur after finishing dungeon objectives. Nice. I actually didn't think they were going to fix this, and they did. Yep. So that's much better. In general,
did they make the waves better too, or no, that was just something that needs to be changed still? Or like, so there's like, you got EXP each wave, or it went up more each wave? Of course, like, damn, you survived everything. Yeah, getting 100 in hardcore is impressive. Eventually get there little by little. Charge a Bob off the map today. Let's freaking go. Hopefully you just canceled yourself so you didn't go off the map. Otherwise, come on, man. Gotta use Reinhardt's spin to your advantage.
The Helltide roaming bosses will drop higher quality loot.
Yeah. I think that's good too, that the bosses drop the higher loot so people actually want to kill those. So the chest is good, Helltide good. The bosses are better. I mean, I haven't done a Helltide since the update though, so I can't tell or know, but I think that's
they should just have the Helltide bosses spawn more, because it's cool to fight the bosses with other people. Yeah. The insane title in WoW. Why you type that? Like, you're trying to like what are you trying to like look for like 50 different like, oh, but there's this one thing like you don't think that about? I think it's the same thing. Like, can we stop fucking trying thinking of 300 different examples of like, what about this one thing? No, if the only reason that people don't have something is because it takes a ridiculous amount of time to get it. Yeah, sometimes it's cool to see people with it, but it is an achievement. Is it an achievement? No, it's fucking not an achievement. It is a participation reward.
Players can teleport into nightmare dungeons directly through the map. Oh my god, I can't even explain to you how badly we need that. And weekly bonus caches no longer have a level requirement for opening. That they said that was a bug. In general,
I mean, I think that is pretty good for the world bosses. So does that mean there's no level requirement for opening, but there's still a level requirement on the gear, right? So you can open up at level like 20 and see what you can get, but then you can't use it to like 40, what is it, like 40, 50, 46? I think some of the pieces were 46 when I opened it last time. So there's still like that level requirement, right? Or are they just scaling whatever boss loot that you have to whatever level you open it?
these things to the gameplay, or the endgame gameplay,
I think all that is
much
good.
better.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes, they just, yeah, these are, every single change here is just, it just makes the game better. There's no like fine print to it. There's nothing like that. It just straight makes the game better.
Alpha was bugged. You kill level 8 world boss in the cache. Yeah, I knew that's what it was. Yeah. I just didn't know if like if they made it since you can open up at all levels, if like the loot scaled to your level then, or is it still like the level 50 to be able to wear the stuff?
Thank you. And now we get to the balance changes.
Talk to world tiers. Oh, okay. Okay, that's still good then.
And there is really nothing to share here.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of crazy shit. Somebody goes and they say this. They say, I think the nightmare teleport is a terrible idea. I understand why you think that. But is it not a case of the tail wagging the dog? That every single player in the game has to be inconvenienced to run to a dungeon just because of the open world? We're making everybody in the entire game have to run through the open world just to give the open world value. I don't think that's a good idea. I think that like you're telling everybody in the whole game, we are going to waste your time on purpose because we built this open world and we want you to play it. I don't think that's good. Straight up. Like it's not fun because like there's no, I
mean, I see that it is like annoying to run there, but I don't really have a problem with running to nightmare dungeons. I mean, at least, yeah, you can maybe, find a little loot goblin on the way. Like it's, I don't know. I think it adds, I don't know, a little bit extra stuff to the game to do. I mean, yeah, it's annoying, but I mean, I don't know. That's why I think it's fine to make people have to run. They need to buff the open world events more. Yeah, but if you're doing like the nightmare dungeons, right? You're not going to just like stop the nightmare dungeon thing to go do a world event that you're running past, because usually you're just with a group, doing it, so you're just going to be going past it anyways. It's like if you want to do the open world events, then that would be like something you're doing for like the whole day, or like, you're going into open world to do the events, not to run to the dungeon. But
it's not an endeavor, right? Like you just go to the nearest thing, you just ride over, and that's it. So yeah, I think that what happens is that the open world is now more important than the core gameplay loop. And the core gameplay loop now is being damaged and held back because of the open world.
If you read what they said they've seen community.
You want to get people out in the open world? Give people a reason to go out in the open world. Don't handicap everybody and say, hey, now you have to be in the open world. Fuck that.
I mean, they kind of did that with making the Hell Tides better. So I like that's making people want to go into open world. But there's no way they're going to be able to like promote people running to a nightmare dungeon, Like there's no way to be like, hey man, I want you guys, here's, some extra stuff for running to the nightmare dungeon instead of teleporting. It's kind of just, yeah.
Feedback that basic skills aren't impactful enough. The changes will not change the fundamental relationship between basic and core skills. We hope they smooth out the experiments, and they're going to explore additional ways to correct them. And in the future updates, they're going to monitor other heavily discussed topics like minion survivability and build parity.
Yes, dude, the minions. Yo, please buff my necromancer minions, dude. Please, man. Please let them be good. I just want to have fun with the homies, dude. Have the entourage running around. I always want it to be viable. Let that class be what it's meant to be.
I read through these changes multiple times, and unless you're leveling up a new character and maybe it's going to feel a little bit better, I don't think these changes are going to really have an impact much at all.
I'm gonna be real, like a lot of these changes that Blizzard did, it's like the kind of stuff where it's like you just change shit to make it look like you it's like, yeah, no, we're working. Yep.
They just change it all by like 1 point. I mean, sometimes the 1 point does make a difference, but I know they wanted to help with the essence and like the resource generation, so it looks like a lot of these are very generated, so we'll see how much they do with the other ones.
No, you're not paying us just to sit around. No, we're working. See, we got a new update.
Lunging strike instead of 30% does.
That's what I feel like they do with Overwatch all the time. Hey guys, yo, we're working, man. Yo, here's a little increase the damage by 1. Okay, we lowered this by 1. Okay, we just changed armor to health. It's like, dude, like come on, man.
It's 33. That is the summary of all the changes that you're going to see.
Right there.
Pretty much everywhere.
Yeah.
I'll let you
they
read
buffed
through.
other legendaries that nobody is going to use.
Right.
It's nice that they increased
really nothing exciting.
Iron Skin. It's nice that they increased Iron Skin. I might swap over to that. It's mostly for the leveling experience, and that's such a good thing.
For any class. Kick got a pretty significant upgrade. It has a ton of its cooldown removed, and it has
ain't nobody gonna use
damage.
that shit.
I guess that's kind of exciting, but not really.
Nobody gonna use that shit.
Iron Maelstrom probably got the biggest improvement.
Yeah, that's crazy. I actually thought about using Iron Maelstrom instead of fucking Call of the Berserker.
60.
I mean, yeah, I mean, there's always gonna be those abilities that nobody uses because like it might sound or look cool, but it just has no practical value. It's just like, even if they buff some of those things, it's like they're still not gonna get used, even though if they're making it like, you know, I don't know, super crazy. Like I can see them just making the abilities that nobody uses better, but it's like they're just doing that to see if maybe people could find a build or something around it.
To 45 seconds, and the critical strike chance up to 30, so that got tripled, and critical strike damage got doubled. So maybe we start to use Iron Maelstrom, and Bounding Slam gets another big increase. Then they have legendary changes. Read through these. None of these.
Like, this is a bunch of shit nobody ever fucking uses. Dust Devil. Like, what the fuck is a Dust Devil? That's a vacuum cleaner. Get the fuck.
Oh yeah, that one was so bad. Oh yeah, let me just have a fucking whirlwind or like a little dust tornado or some shit. Like, dude, literally fucking trash ability, dude. Literally nobody will use that. Yeah, dude, yeah, make it do more damage. Yeah, still nobody's picking out the fucking Kirby vacuum, dude.
Get out of here. Nobody cares about this shit.
That crazy. For example, Hellhammer got a decent buff, but Hellhammer is for upheaval, right? And upheaval is already gutted, and there's no changes to upheaval. So, really not seeing much here. Another thing that it looked like I saw, unless I'm missing something, I really didn't see very many nerfs.
No.
So, for example...
No, nothing really got nerfed at all.
Well, Rampaging Werebeast for Tornado Druid is still going.
That's
and
crazy.
For Necromancer, their Bone Spear is still going to be hitting for 60 million damage a second. Or like the Sorcerer.
Hey man, I like my bone. Did you say Bone Spirit? I love having to be able to one-shot things, man. I mean, once the minions become good, then you already know I'm swapping to minion build, but whenever that freaking will happen, who freaking knows, man.
Like, I was really hoping to see...
I think they're probably just holding off on like a lot of the big balance changes for Season 1. They're probably just waiting to see what people are going to do. Because, like, that's the smart thing to do. Because, like, they've already... Because you also have to look at it from, like, the Blizzard's perspective, right? It's like they've already nerfed so many builds. And I think that there's a fatigue that the community probably has at this point, where it's like, I originally wanted to do this, but now you made it harder, and you made it harder again, and now.
Yeah, it's like, oh, in the beginning, oh, I just spent, you know, fucking 30 hours, 40 hours, fucking 100 hours farming for this gear, and then you make that build obsolete. So it's like, yeah, if they would have nerfed all the meta builds again, I think people would just get pissed, because then it's like, okay, well, now I just grinded for all this gear. Like, I don't know, yeah. So I'm glad they didn't nerf the ones that they didn't nerf before and just left them, you know, do it. Bone Spear is insane right now. 3-shotting world bosses, really? I'll have to maybe take a look at that.
Now you made it a harder a third time, right? And so it's like, oh my fucking god, right? I'm getting farmed by this. So
yeah.
I feel like Blizzard, even though, like, let's be real, like that tornado shit is OP. Like, that Bone Spear shit is OP. But the problem is that if you remove the tornado shit and you remove the Bone Spear, the class sucks. So, like,
yeah.
yes, it's OP, but it doesn't really...
Ain't that the truth? You got one thing. Oh, shit.
Really matter. Because, like, it's there's no leaderboards. It's like, what are you going to do? You're going to kill Uber or Lilith? Okay, cool. Everybody can do that. It's not like nobody can do it. Yes, obviously, it's broken that some classes can do it in 10 minutes and some classes can do it in 1.5.
I think if they add in, like, the PvP zone, have our PvP arenas be added, you know, and then they would have to start, like, nerfing certain things that are just, like, ungodly unfair. But yeah, like Asmond said, if there's no leaderboards or anything, like, yeah, nobody really cares if some person is going into your group at a world boss and, like, you know, 3-shotting it like that. You're probably happy that that guy's in your group at that point. You know, there's zero downsides to it, as opposed to, you know, they're leveling a little bit faster than other people, but, you know, just get in a group with them. Forehead.
5. Yes, it's broken, but it doesn't really matter. Like, make sure, and I do think it will matter in Season 1. But right now, people have already had to fucking respec and change their build maybe 1 or 2 times by now.
Yeah.
Just let people keep playing what they're playing until the first season. Like, what's the worst that can happen? Who cares?
Like Frozen Orb, and they did buff Frozen Orb a little bit from 32 to 36. From 29 to 34, I guess that's a little
Nobody
something.
ever uses fucking bullshit Frozen Orb. Who cares?
But
I always fucking hated that ability, by the way.
I don't know. The theory.
Honestly, I should have moved my cam
there,
like over here.
I went through and looked
So
at
then
all of these, and nothing
didn't block
seems
the
that
text.
great. Hard
But now
Seeker
we
got a
know.
huge
Now we know
increase
for
on
next
the
time.
primary.
I
Hard
just looked
Seeker
over now to see that it was
35.
blocking it.
Yeah.
I guess it only really matters is what
Quality
we're
got
talking
big.
about.
Somebody goes into chat, they say this, they say Diablo 4 running into the same problem Lost Ark did. They cater more to preventing hardcore players from exploiting than help 99% of the community. That's not true with today's patch. You're right, but that's not true with today's patch. Today's patch is not an example of that. Whenever they do that, and you know they will do that again, I will call it out. But that's not what's happening right now.
Big increase.
This is a
Escape
W
Artist,
patch.
this legendary aspect, got its cooldown significantly reduced.
I agree. But I mean, there's no way that people can be pissed off at it, because it's just buffing and making the things better, like, you know, the Nightmare dungeons and all these classes. So it's like, there's nothing for somebody to be pissed. If somebody's pissed about this patch, like, dude, like, how? Literally, things only got better. Yeah, that make no sense. Hey, bro, you know, this patch fucking sucks. Like, okay, so what did they change? Oh, dude, they buffed my abilities? Damn, bro, that fucking sucks, doesn't it? They made you stronger, man. Like, okay, dude, get the fuck out of here.
Decrease.
That's huge.
Eyes in the Dark, that's that unique pair of pants, right? The Death Trap cooldowns will increase 15. That's a buff as well. Yeah, you just go to the developer notes. They're making basic skills more impactful for leveling and buffing up some skills a little bit. So I guess we'll see what they do on Season 1. I'm guessing there aren't going to be many more balance changes until Season 1, which may be another month out. So, yeah, all the best.
I think if they want to do balance changes, what they should do is that, like, right now, I feel like the best specs in the game, I think in terms of damage output, I feel like the Druid Tornado shit and the what was it? the bone spear is like the damage for that is too high. I just hope that like every week they increase other spells just a little bit. Like,
yeah, I mean, or they can just make the other builds of like the necromancer, you know, stronger as well. Like I do agree that that's probably like ridiculous, but then like if they nerf those, and I feel like they have to try and buff the other ones to at least make it useful, so there's not just one build that's like only good for those classes.
Like not make them like super OP, because like I really want to say like, please Blizzard, do not start just buffing everything always all the time, because that's how we got quadrillion crits in Diablo 3. It's stupid.
Yeah,
it's just fucking stupid. So just keep buffing the other abilities. Keep buffing minions for Necro, for example. Like, give them...
Hey. Yo, hey there. Hey. Hey, Del, thanks, Asmond. Yo, thanks, man. High five, dude. Thank you, man. Yo, you tell him, man. Please, bro. just make those... That's the only reason for the class, man.
5%? Like, give it an ICC buff, right? 5% more damage every week until people play them. I think that's pretty fair. See what happens.
Builds that you thought were the best builds are just going to stay the same, and it's going to really surprise me. Really surprise me if any builds kind of rise to power from this patch. It's extremely conservative, and it doesn't do a whole lot. However, if I had my choice, the thing that really matters is these updates to these endgame activities.
This is the only thing that really matters. Yeah, he's totally right. Max is 100% right. This is what matters. If you, every change here is an S tier good change. Now, I will also say every change should have been on release. However, the first season isn't out. Okay, fine.
I think this is like all around like a step in the right direction. Like there's like, yeah, this is what we needed, and it's like they're not adding like any, you know, the new like world tier or the PvP stuff, but this is just better for what everybody like needed to do to level and like continue grinding their character for like the gear and stuff. So yeah, I think that's really good.
Right, but these are all very good changes. I'm so happy to see them.
Per the video that I made, so this is going to help. So I don't know, how did you feel about it? I
felt great.
I guess I was,
I'm happy.
especially in the balance changes.
I'm very happy.
Expecting them to try to actually balance everything, but
I don't think that they can right now, and I think the reason why they can't is they're probably going to add special uniques into the game in Season 1 that change the game. And they're not making changes right now because they're balancing around those uniques. Do you think so? No, I don't think so. I hope so.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. They're just adding new things in there. Like that would make sense. While they can't buff things too much, because then you have a thing that happened with like Overwatch, right? Where it's like, oh, let me just nerf, like when Junker Queen was first like released. Oh, dude, yeah, this character's so broken. Yeah, then they, you know, nerf her by like 50%, and then they release Kariko right afterwards, and then it's like, oh, now Kariko counters Junker, now Junker Queen's complete trash, and it's like, okay, now you just double nerf somebody. So yeah, I mean that would make sense if they're just doing like the small things, because they're going to add other things later, so they don't want to like double buff or like triple buff something and then have to like revert whatever. So I mean, yeah, that would, the tiny thing, see how it goes, and then yeah,
I really hope so. That's gotta be it, right, guys? It's not like they're just letting one person like 3-shot a world boss and everybody else can't do that, right? There's no way.
yeah, they probably are.
I mean, I will say though, I think I've almost simped for the Diablo 4 team in a lot of cases. And this is why. It's because they've come out with a patch and they've said, you have problems with these parts of the game, we're fixing them. And now they're fixed. Done. And that's awesome. Isn't that nice? You rated it a 9 out of 10? Yeah, and this is fucking why right here. I think it is a 9 out of 10 game. It is.
That's not real.
Yeah, because not a lot of companies or like game developers ever like listen or make changes to like what's that people don't like. They're just kind of like in their own little bubble, not, you know, caring about what's going on. So yeah, I definitely think that did a good job
really
here.
how it happened. Really, they just took every bad skill and they brought it up a very small amount, it seems.
It went from a 2 to a 3.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see if anything comes of it, but if anything major comes of it, that's going to really, really surprise me. Anyway, that's the patch, guys, and we'll see what happens in Season 1.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I'm really excited. I definitely am. I want to say also, like, obviously, you know, you've got some people that talk about, like, for me, the way that I rank a live service game, so this is important, I rank live service games not just on where they are, but where I think the community is taking them and where the developers are taking them. So, like, if I feel like a live service game has a great relationship with its player base, like Final Fantasy XIV, like PoE, like Diablo 4 seems to have, I actually include that in my ranking. Because a live service game's ranking is really kind of, it's amorphous, right? It changes all the time.
I think that, yeah, I think that makes sense. That like you need to put that into account, because like if you're trying to play a game and the team never changes anything and there's just one problem for like ever, or like the bug fixes or like optimization that's just terrible for a long ass time, then it's like, bro, dude, like what the heck? Everyone just quits the game, everyone, you know, drops it off, everyone's just pissed off for that long amount of time. Like if they need to like continuously be, you know, trying to do stuff fast and be like transparent.
Like the ranking of a live service game, it can be the same game, but it will go down every month because there's no new content. If you value Diablo 9 to 10, what do you value PoE? I think PoE is a 10 out of 10. I think PoE is a 9.8 out of 10. Like, visibility in that game is fucked, but it is a 9.8 out of 10. Like, I love PoE. But and again, like, I'm ranking it as a hardcore player. Like, if I'm trying to, like, for example, Silvervale was going to play PoE, and I was like...
PoE's crazy good.
Okay, so here's the
Never played that one.
Here's a situation, right? And so, because I was like, listen, like, you play games, like, I mean, she plays a lot of games, for sure. But, like, does she watch a 30-minute video about a spreadsheet? That's a whole different universe. Either way, Diablo 4 new patch, massive fucking W. I am so happy about it. Blizzard actually made a lot of good decisions. They did everything that I thought that they should have done, and I am really happy to see this. I think that they're making the right decision by not over buffing and over nerfing things right now, and I am hoping this could be coping, that the reason for that is because they have a lot of changes planned for Season 1 with new abilities and new... not new abilities necessarily, but new uniques and new items and new systems, that it will inherently make the other abilities stronger based off of the interactions. But I don't know that. I'm just hoping that's the case. So we'll see what happens. But yes, I feel good as a Diablo 4 player right now.
Yeah, I think so too. I agree with that. Like, you know, we'll see what the rest of them you know, how the new patch or the new season comes out to be. But I think that was a good patch. Wasn't anything too crazy, but it did touch on like everything that we needed to do to be able to want to continue like playing the game, and like they'll make the leveling experience better, which a lot of people are still in. You know, a lot of the casuals are still in order for making new characters. I think it's good.
Yeah, I feel good. Sorry. I know there's people that are like perpetually mad at Blizzard, and you're mad to hear this, but like, yeah, I'm happy.
I wish I could be happy in Overwatch. We never were happy with that game, dude. Where's the dev team on Overwatch? Yo, honestly, all the people that work on Overwatch 2 PvE, they just went over to like the Diablo team, and now they're working there. So now we're just all left with who knows what, dude. What the freaking these guys? Oh man, but yeah, good patch. Nice.